In this video, I'm going to give you 5 reasons why I like to wear aprons. Keep watching. If we're just meeting, I'm Denise Jordan, and I teach traditional homemaking for today's homemaker. So if you want to learn more about the art and science of homemaking, subscribe. And double tap that little bell icon so you don't miss any upcoming videos. Okay, let's talk about aprons. I absolutely love aprons. And this one is one of my favorites. And there are really some good reasons for wearing aprons. One of them is that they protect your clothing. I was making some stock earlier today and I was stirring it up and it splashed up and I got it on my apron. So I swapped out the apron that I had on because I didn't want that to be showing in this video. But my blouse was protected, whereas the apron got a little bit splattered. So they do help you protect your clothing. The other reason I like to wear aprons is because they are reminiscent of my grandmother. I remember both of my grandmothers wearing aprons, and my grandma Dixie always seemed to wear the kind of big white pinafore type aprons, and she was always baking. Her house always smelled of rolls and cake and different things like that, what I called grandma food. And when I wear aprons, it makes me think of her. And this particular apron here belonged to my grandma that lived in St. Louis, my Grandma Earl. And she was a world traveler. Her and some of her friends were always going somewhere. And I remember that about her. But she was also a very good cook. And this was one of the aprons that she used to wear. She tended to wear this kind, the kind that just goes around the waist. But when you have this kind of apron on, you still have something that you can, you've got a little pocket here, and then you've got something to dry your hands on. So these little aprons work out well. So I love that. And one of the other things that I do remember about my grandma, like I said, she's from St. Louis. So she lived in kind of a rough neighborhood, and she used to keep a little derringer in the pocket. So when she went to answer the door, if there was a stranger or someone like that at the door, she'd have her hand in her pocket just in case she needed to protect herself. Another reason why I like to wear aprons is that they are pretty and colorful. I just love this so many bright colors that you can get with aprons, just so many. And then I can have on a plain dress, black or blue, white, whatever color I can put on a plain dress, but put on a colorful apron and I'm nice and bright and ready for the day. Another reason why I like to wear aprons is that they have pockets. So many times I find myself in need of a pocket, either a pocket to tuck a tissue, maybe to tuck an extra pair of gloves, some kind of a tool or piece that I need for something that I'm working with. They are not only practical, but they are also functional. So aprons are wonderful for that reason. Another reason why I like to wear aprons is because I enjoy vintage clothing. So I can put on a pretty apron, something that's very 1950s. Step into that era just a little bit, but not be going overboard. And aprons are good conversation starters, particularly if you've got a really cute one. There are so many attractive patterns. For example, I have a daughter-in-law that has a baking business, and one of the things that she's really known for is her cupcakes. So for Mother's Day, I got her a really cute apron that had cupcakes over it. So speaking of Mother's Day, I will just say that aprons are a great gift idea. If the person in your life cooks at all, an apron is always appropriate. And whereas they may not think they need one, let them make some spaghetti sauce or something like that one day and get it splattered all over their shirt. And they'll be thinking, gosh, I wish I'd put on that apron that I got. In case you can tell, I like the black and yellow combination. Look at this one. It just says Home Sweet Farmhouse, and I like a little bit of farmhouse in my kitchen. You can probably tell that. I like a little bit of farmhouse, but not too much. And I think this one is just absolutely perfect. So I can't wait to wear it. But you can see that it's a little bit wrinkled, and it's still wrinkled for me because that's the way it was when it came out of the bag. So if I wanted to tell you one reason why I don't like aprons, because they have to be ironed. Most of them are made out of cotton, which they need to be because you want something that's easily clean, so something that you can use it and throw it in the wash and not have to worry a lot about it, which means that they need ironing. And aprons are such good conversation starters. Let's say you have some friends over, you've got some ladies in the kitchen with you while you're cooking and they're sitting there chatting. And they'll have all kinds of comments or questions about your aprons. So I really look forward to wearing this one the next time I have some ladies over. And aprons are really pretty comfortable to wear. When I have them on, sometimes I forget they're on and I sit down just to relax and I realize, oh, I still got my apron on, so I gotta get that off. And I've got quite a few aprons and I just love them all. I'll show them to you. Once I get these all ironed up, I'll let you see the different ones that I have. I'll do a little fashion show for you. Question for you. Do you have an apron? And if you do you wear it? Or is it buried in a drawer somewhere? Tell me in the comments section below. And if you like this video, check out my video on vintage baking. I've got one where I made baking powder biscuits and one where I made buttermilk corn muffins. So check those out. And I really got into the spirit. I had on a dress that was reminiscent of those times, and of course I had on an apron. And just so you know, I've raised 3 children and I've managed a home for more than 45 years. So if you want to learn more about the art and science of homemaking, subscribe. I can teach you to be a traditional homemaker in an untraditional world. In the meantime, this is Denise Jordan saying you are not done yet. Click on the link in the description box below and check out my video on my favorite laundry products. I'll see you next time.